our best combination.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to our second live stream, live show, or however you should call it. And yeah, it's
Live show.
Live show.
We're not making a show. I mean,
Yes,
arguably,
yeah.
it's a, yeah. But okay. Here's the thing. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me post a status that we're live. Okay, here's the thing. Live show makes it seem like it's a show. You know, like a performance.
Yeah.
Like live stream makes
it's just
because we're just like here cooking and like kind of
We're
like
streaming
sharing
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like having a kind of like Anyway, Anyway, so today is a very exciting live stream because it's the first time that we're doing a collaboration. Which today we're collaborating with
Siswa Johor.
which is a youth organization in Johor, but we'll go into that later. First of all, speaking of Johor, we would like to introduce our dish of the day that we are going to cook today. Last time we cooked one together, multicolored. Today, we are okay. I was like going to take a food, right? And then I realized there's none. Today we are going to cook harissa, which harissa is like a very super special, super unique Johor food dish. There's like, okay, the first time we heard of harissa was like from our mother. Who said that her atuk talks about this, cooked this dish called harissa, which her atuk mentioned to her that it is spelled as Harissa, but pronounced as harissa. And like throughout the years, we have heard people pronouncing it as both harissa and arissa. My theory is that it's sort of like, when orang Terengganu cook nasi minyak, they call it nasi minyok.
Yeah.
But it's like nasi minyak at the
It's
same
like
time.
the non-standard.
Yeah, it's like it's like
That's
dialect.
harissa.
Yeah.
But harissa would be like the standard pronunciation.
Like nasi minyak. And arissa is nasi minyak. That's my theory. I don't actually know. Someone has to do that study. But
Perhaps
anyway,
someone already did it.
maybe.
So we can't find it.
Without further ado, first of all, we need to start. Like we would like to, kind of like give more introduction to the food and stuff like that. But first, we need to
Boil the chicken.
prepare the chicken, which takes a long time. So we need to, because first we need to boil the chicken. We need to put the chicken in this water, then we boil it, then we have a chicken broth and a cooked chicken. And from the chicken, we have to shred it. So that would take time. So we want to get to the chicken first, then we'll break down the recipe. So first of all, no, we're not taking that. No.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, we have a chicken that we are going to boil. We need to cut some onions. Bring over the onions. On that side. Okay. Hello guys, how is everybody? Hope you have a good day. We heard that it's flooding in certain places, which is very unfortunate, and we hope that everyone is doing well and safe. So
It's raining right now actually, and there's like some thunder going on. So there may be some background noises, and also experience.
okay, so we have our ginger and onion, the chopper. Okay, so first for the chicken broth that we're going to cook, we will first need to. Is this the thing in view? Is it fine? Is it okay? Alright, okay. So first, you can place that. First, we will peel the onion and fry.
I think we might need to like lower down the volume a bit when we're pressing this thing. It's gonna be loud.
Oh yeah, we will. I think we'll just warn you guys that we would be chopping. Then you take your earphones out if you're filming.
You plug it down here or there?
You can just play it there. Okay, get the onions, peel the onions, hold a second. Okay, you can open it.
It's actually my first time breaking this thing.
Your first time
From
bending
the
a
start.
chopper?
Like all the while I've only helped press this button, so I've never opened it from like.
I feel like this live stream is a good experience for your. It's a good cooking experience for you.
Yes.
We have 2 comments.
Oh, okay.
Folding Banana says hello.
Hello.
Folding bananas.
And also said that it's raining here 300 kilometers away from Yong. Is Malaysia going to flood?
Oh, it is already flooding in a few places. Like on the northern side, on the east coast, a few states has been struck by the flood, like Terengganu and Kelantan, and Pahang. I think I heard that.
They were fearing of a flood, of an impending flood, but I'm not sure if it has arrived or not.
Alright.
But it was a concern.
Because it's been at those places. It's been raining non-stop.
Yeah,
So-
it's specific. Yeah.
Do you want to try cutting the onions? Oh wait, what's the second comment? Both are from Fully Bananas.
Ayman Amani said earlier on, hello again, Harissa. That's exciting.
It is exciting. It is super exciting.
Shocked emoji.
This is the second time I am included in like Harissa cooking. Does that sound quite right? Included in, well, okay. This is the first time I'm cooking harissa on my own.
Yeah.
Though, with Ahmad. But like the last time I've only participated in harissa cooking once with our mother. But I love harissa, like love. Capital. Love. How much do you love harissa?
It's a very heavy food, but I do enjoy it whenever I eat
Heavy?
it.
What do
But
you mean heavy?
that like
The taste.
The taste, yeah. So it's not something. Is that brown part right?
Oh, that's skin. Can you take it out?
Like I do. It's not like something that I will eat every day, but whenever I eat it, I do enjoy it very much.
Harissa. Oh, I mean, while we're preparing the ingredients, anyway. Okay, so how harissa? Okay, you can do for that one too. How you cook harissa is, first of all, you prepare this chicken broth, and you boil the chicken. I mean, because the thing is that it's not just.
Oh my goodness! I hit me. Yeah.
It's not just to get. You don't just need to prepare a chicken broth.
Oh,
you
that's like-
also you can wipe it off.
I'll just wash it.
Yeah, you can do that too. You can also. I'm sorry. What was it? Oh yeah, harissa. So first of all, you need to prepare the chicken broth, and you also need the chicken, the cooked chicken for the harissa. Is this clear? I'm sorry. Okay. Here's what you do. You first prepare a chicken. You first boil chicken in water. By that, you get cooked chicken and also chicken broth. So you take the cooked chicken and you shred the cooked chicken, and then the chicken broth, you leave it to simmer on the stove to soften the onions and etc. and everything else. While that, you're shredding chicken, then after you've shredded the chicken, you will use the broth to cook oats and milk and some spices. It'll be clearer when we're cooking. So
It's like the first time I know that there's like, I don't know what to call it, ingrown skin, I guess, within onions.
sometimes things happen to
Yeah,
onions.
I just knew that was
Sometimes they're like one onion and then suddenly they want to become 2 onions.
interesting.
Okay, so that is the onions. Now we chop up the garlic to make it finer, to make it easier to chop. Ah, it has skin. You know a secret? Sometimes I just cook with the skin on it. But then the thing is that Chinese, if I'm not mistaken, Chinese do cook with skin on. The ginger. It's just that I think we can do it.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I've seen them doing it. In fact, they like it because they say that there's a certain flavor in the skin that's not in the ginger itself. Okay. Okay, so these are all of the ginger and the onion. Now we're going to chop it. So it might be loud. You need the lid.
No wonder it feels weird. I was like, there's something wrong.
Ahmad's adventure in the kitchen. Oh, let me change.
It's not locking, right? It's just like this.
Yeah, it's just like that. Yes.
Alright, I shall be pressing this thing in 3, 2, 1. At least what my mother told me, the key to doing this is to do it in pulses, like to press it and then stop, and
Yeah,
pressing it
that's
again
not
and
too-
stopping it again.
What is it called?
Overheat? Or
Overuse the mortar.
the motor?
Okay, he's pressing it.
I'm going to press it again.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
Alright. So now,
Another comment from Folding Banana.
hold a second. Chopped. Okay, okay, good.
Would you consider people liking harissa, how do you pronounce it? Masochist? I can't remember how to pronounce that word. Spicy things activate the pain receptors, and that sounds masochistic.
Oh, this is not that harissa. This is another harissa. That is the hot sauce harissa.
Oh.
This is the Johorean harissa, which is not that spicy, but it is not spicy at all.
It's not spicy and it's base.
Yeah, but we do eat it with chilies. Okay, the onions. You're
not affecting me at the moment.
So yeah, so that is a different harissa. I can't remember where was it from. I can't remember what was that harissa from. This harissa, there's a whole long lore to it. So people often mention that this harissa probably comes from the Arabs because the Middle East, because they came over to Johor, and that we do have a lot of like Johor do have a lot of Middle Eastern influences.
Like in a lot of things in general, like music, cultural dances. Yeah.
So but the harissa specifically, there is this cooking in the Arabian and Levant areas called haris, which originated from the word harasa, which means to crush or to stir. I can't remember, to something. But anyway, yeah, I'm see my eyes. So the cooking haris, which is a very very old cooking in the Arabian countries, like I can't remember. It's been very
Sorry to
old.
my ass up.
It's been the haris is a very very old cuisine. There's documentations of the cooking in recipe books, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So haris is still cooked now, and specifically in places like Lebanon, I think, or Iraq, they cook it for Hari Ashura, or like Ashura Day. I'm not sure what they call it in English.
It is Ashura Day.
Yeah, Ashura Day, which is the 10th day of the month of
First month.
the first month
In
in
the
the Islamic
calendar.
Hijri. Yeah. So that is haris. There is also a dish called harissa, which is in fact considered as like the what do you call it, national food dish of Armenia, which is literally called harissa. So like, I suppose this haris is from the Arabian countries because the ingredients are very similar, except for the fact that they use wheat, we use oat. I feel like alongside maybe with different spices, that is the only difference.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because of cultural influences and etc. And the name are very similar, and we also cook it during special days like Ramadan and Hari Ashura especially. So yeah, so that is this harissa. So now that we've added the onion and the garlic, we are going to add in the chicken. Get your hands dirty and grimy and touch the chicken.
I am
Just put it in.
gently touching the chicken.
Okay. Okay, now get some water in here.
A comment from Spaghetti Enthusiast.
Oh, hi!
OMG, I cannot be around onions for that long.
I am very sensitive to onions too. Okay, so here's the recipe. It said like 2 onions, which we added,
Is this in
5
a folder?
centimeters of ginger, which we added, chicken. It didn't say how much water. Last time I cooked it with my mother, she said just agak-agak, you know, estimate, right about. You just want to make sure that your chicken is submerged in the water.
Then we need more.
1 second. I think just a little bit more. Okay, so that's the chicken. We also need to add in some spices. Hold a second.
Do I pour it in or?
No, I'm doing it because okay, slowly. Okay, that's about enough. Put it there. Okay, so now we're going to add the spices. This is the first batch of spices. We're also going to add another bunch of spices later on. So first we add 2 star anise. Again, our recipes are on papers written by our mother. She's a great cook. 2 star anise. Our mother doesn't really like star anise.
I don't exactly like star anise as well.
Should it be 1 or 2? I can't remember. I feel like last time our mother mentioned if we... It's because sometimes we don't actually follow the recipe that we write. Okay, so 2 star anise, 5 cloves, 1, 2,
Cloves are my favorite spice.
4, 5. Ahmad eats cloves, just like that. I sometimes do, but not like the way he eats it. And then 7 centimeters cinnamon.
Let's get a measuring tape. That might be 5, I think. No, it's less than 5. I have no idea. I'm better at inches than centimeters when it comes to gauging the.
Okay,
length.
and then 2 nutmeg. There's supposed to be 2 nutmeg, but we don't have nutmeg, like whole nutmeg. So we are using the teaspoon. Well, mother said, oh wait, not this teaspoon, like the tiny teaspoon, metal teaspoon thing. Yeah. Make sure it's dry. Okay. Our mother said about 1 teaspoon, so
It's about 1.
okay. So now we are going to cook this on the stove.
Oh, we thought we were going to use the.
We'll be back.
Alright, we'll be back.
Well, no, we're not
yeah.
going away. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Oskida?
So
Nice.
I think we could talk more about while we're waiting for the chicken to boil and such. We could talk more about our collaborator here, Siswa Johor, which is basically a youth organization, as we've mentioned before. It is a youth organization by the youth and for the youth. Basically, what we're doing is to create awareness among the members of the society, include specifically those, as you know, mentioned in the name, the Siswa, the students in universities, to
Not just create awareness though.
also to help them.
Well, I think the main goal of like Siswa Johor is to it's sort of like
support.
supporting the youth.
Yeah.
Though as per the name says Siswa, so like university students specifically.
And yeah.
So
I mean, among the
like the welfare of
supporting the
yeah.
welfare. So that would include a variety of things from
We left the cardamom.
Oh no.
4 cardamom. I'll be right back.
It includes
There are some condiments.
So among the things that we do is, I will take an example. Back a few weeks ago, we provided Siswa Johor provided some aid for a group of students who were stuck. Basically, I'll start from the start. In University Technology Malaysia in Johor Bahru, one of the campuses had to face a lockdown because of a COVID case, and so the students there are stuck without any access to the outside world and can't go out to buy food and such. So Siswa Johor, under the help of with the help of the state government, provided things like food and basic needs for the students living in the campus. And after that, they also sent out those COVID test kits, that the RTKs, rapid test kits, that's the word, for the students, provided by the Ministry Besar of Johor. And yeah, we also do
Siswa Johor.
Siswa Johor also does many things relating to that, philanthropic activities for the youth of Johor. That's basically what Siswa Johor is all
Okay,
about.
so but first we need to
First
read
of,
out
yes,
this.
we need to read the recipe.
Okay, so harissa, as like we mentioned just now, so we have the chicken, which we will boil in the. Oh, hold a second, the lid.
The lid.
Sorry. Okay. Anyway, I'm so sorry. So we have the chicken that we're now boiling in the water. So we'll get cooked chicken and also chicken broth. And then while that is boiling, we will be preparing the other set of ingredients, which we will be using after we shredded the chicken. We'll be using another bunch of ingredients. So basically, simply put, we have ingredients A, which we prepared just now and it's now cooking, and now we have set ingredient B. So first we need oats. We need, okay, just as a refresher, just now, ingredient A, we had chicken, 5 cloves, 2 star anise, 7 centimeters cinnamon, 4 cardamom, 5 centimeters ginger, 2 nutmeg, and 2 large onion. Now, ingredient part B, we have 250 grams oats, 1 cup evaporated milk, 2 tablespoons of, some people use kurma powder, some people use biryani powder. We personally like kerutuk powder, which is a Terengganu spice. It's nice.
Is it spice or spice mix?
Spice mix, that's the word. Kerutuk is a spice mix. And then, 3 tablespoons ghee. So first of all, 250 grams oats. It's okay, you can pause the weighing scale. Okay. Can you fetch the evaporated milk? Oh no, it's okay. I think evaporated milk, we'll take it when we want to use it. Okay.
Have you updated
Can
the
you-
name of the food?
Oh, I didn't get to. Can you type it for me? Say, cooking stream, cooking harissa. No, like from the beginning. Cooking harissa. Exclamation mark. And then, no, in brackets. Okay, tutup bracket, belakang. Okay, then delete everything else. Okay, so now 250 grams of oats. Hold a second.
Have you measured the plate?
Sorry?
Like reduce the weight for the plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's too much. Can you catch it back?
Using this.
Yeah.
250, right?
250, yes.
I think
There are several comments.
Ooh, nice.
From Fondue Banana. Thank you. That was an informative and a historical lesson. I thought there was only one harissa.
That's a lot.
Really interesting to know.
In fact, hold a second. Somewhere in Africa, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ethiopia and there's another place, somewhere else. I can't remember the name. Tanzania. I think a region in Tanzania has a dish very similar to harissa called boko boko. I don't know if there is any correlation between harissa and boko boko, but it is very similar. And people often just put them in one category, like they say that it must be the same dish that goes around.
They also said, I actually am curious, how did you two know about the history of harissa and its variants? Did you guys learn before the live stream?
Oh yeah, I mean, we know
basically.
Well,
About,
we know. Yeah. We
But
do
then-
know about the dish. I mean, because I think as like a dish coming from somewhere we're from, we are proud. Like it's a dish. Harissa is a dish that the Orang Johor, people from Johor, are very very proud of. So yeah, like we like have like the whole, it's like a pride.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So 250 grams of oats. Next, kerutuk powder. Okay. So this is
all my
the
life, I thought it's
spice mix.
kerutuk and not kerutuk.
I mean, the thing is that no one actually made. This is how you spell kerutuk, because the thing is that Orang Terengganu says it like kerutuk. You know,
Because of that. I
So
thought-
someone decided that it should be kerutuk with a B. Doesn't mean it should be, So this
it
spice
doesn't mean
mix
it should be.
is made of coriander, aniseed, cumin, clover. It says clover. Clove, cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper. Smell it. So good. Okay. 2 tablespoons. The thing about the spice, actually, you just have to estimate when you cook it, So
It's like about that, but
Yeah.
you have
sometimes
to,
you need to add a bit more, sometimes a
as
bit
you're
less.
cooking.
So I think it's okay. I think we'll just put this aside as it is. Then later on.
Yeah, later on.
So we have the oats and the spice mix. We will get the milk later. Ghee. Ghee. It's okay. Ghee will also take the ghee later. Now I'm going to check chicken. Well, that you can tell us about your memories of harissa, or like your favorite like traditional food kind of thing. What's
Well-
a dish that you are,
I mean,
or maybe what do you know of harissa?
Okay, I'll start with the first question about my memory of harissa. I think that was what she asked. I remember the first time I ate it. It was a bit, I felt like it was not that interesting. But then as I ate it, because the thing about harissa is that it's served on its own, and with the side of things that you could add with it. So some people eat it with honey, some people eat it with garlic. I personally like it with garlic, but when I started eating it, I did not eat it with garlic. I kind of just ate it on its own, which was good, but then it's like not that interesting for me then. So I kind of just, this interesting food. However, on that day itself, like when I ate it, then I tried it out with garlic along with a few other things. Like, I also like it with lime and chili. So those are my two favorite ways to eat harissa. Yeah, I guess that's about roughly how it goes.
A comment from Amanina Hussaini. I've never thought I could be doing notes while watching Ahmad and his sister making harissa on a rainy evening. I surprisingly learned a lot of things. Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome. It's really nice that could entertain you this evening on this rainy evening with my sister. So yeah, I mean it's really cool to be able to cook and stream it as well.
Yeah, the chicken is still cooking. I'm like, cooked chicken. But anyway, let's put this aside. There. Okay. So, when you mentioned about just now, you said it's cool to like be able to cook and stream it at the same time. What I also find really cool about this live stream today is that because okay, here's the thing, when we started our podcast on Oskida, our idea was to have these kind of really nice conversations where we be mindful about stuff and we try to see how we affect others and how we can affect others and how do we do the thing is that even if you're not doing anything, you are somewhat affecting other people. So how
the fact that you're not doing anything, you're
affect people.
Yeah.
So how do you want to spend your time bringing the best for people, So, which is why we were very, very, very excited when we were contacted by Siswa Johor to make this collaborative live stream, because other than being a, what do you call that word, philanthropic, I think, body, they're not just doing charitable work where they help out the youth and etc. They also try to find ways to give a long-term impact
to the youth for the future of the youth.
Yeah. So by that they also try to create find ways to help the youth in the long run, and also find ways to help the youth help themselves.
Yes.
Which is a thing that we will find very, very cool and interesting. And amongst the things that they're doing is they try to spread an awareness amongst the youth of their rights and responsibilities
as the youth of the generation.
Yeah. So which brings to the idea of what. Hold a second, let me move these stuff. It's kind of distracting me. I'm so sorry. Hold a second, let me move these.
We prefer a more organized workspace for working
I
purposes.
cannot work in non-organized. Are we using the chopping board anymore? No?
I have no idea.
Okay. Can you take this?
Where do I put the chopper?
Where do you put the chopper? You can just leave it back there.
Okay.
Here.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I moved it away from the
Yeah. Okay, let's move everything aside. Okay. And then move this aside, move this guy aside, move this guy to the sink. I'll go and check on the chicken again for a minute.
Hopefully the chicken's done by now. If not, we'll have to talk for longer. So, but yeah. So among the things that we're trying to do is to, Siswa Johor is trying to do is to make sure that the youth, the future of the youth, will be at its best and at its create a better future. Is there any comments, new chats, text to speech?
Nasrul _M sent.
Thanks.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I have no idea. I can't tell.
Okay. See that.
Wait, hold on. I can turn around the microphone if that.
Oh, okay. If you can hear me, let me try. If you can hear me, the chicken is almost cooked. I feel like it might be cooked. Hold a second. I'm trying to pry it open to see if the insides are cooked. The outsides are cooked. No, it's still kind of raw. Chicken takes so long to cook. Hold a second. I think I'll open it up so that it'll cook. Okay, you can talk again now.
Among the biggest challenge of cooking is the waiting process because it takes so long, especially when you're waiting for it. So like when you want it to go faster, it kind of just doesn't progress. Yeah.
Okay,
Is it done?
I do not know, but I'm going to check. Get the cook style.
Is the wooden one good?
Okay, so this, if you can smell this smells so good.
Yes.
The spices and the onion and the chicken. So we have the chicken. We're going to try and see if the chicken is cooked. Is this Okay. Sorry, so sorry. Okay, so we're going to check the chicken.
I mean, it kind of looks cooked from the outside.
Obviously, what we need to check is the inside. So this is the chicken. You can see the bits of onion got stuck to it. It looks kind of
Yeah,
cooked.
it looks cooked.
It's cooked. I cannot believe it. Hold a second. Wait for it.
Oh.
Hold a
I
second.
thought we were going to push it down.
Well, you can, but then I'm going to use this. Okay. So this we are going to shred it. Okay. Before like the stream, I looked up to see how do other people cook harissa. They put the hold a second. This is steam. I'm not sure if that's good for the microphone.
Oh.
They put the chicken, like this cooked chicken, in a chopper, and then you chopped it. I do not know if that is how you cook harissa nowadays, and if that is permissible, but definitely our mother's atuk said that you shred it and
Not chop it.
not chop it. So we are going to do it that way. I mean, no judgment to the people. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end, it's all going to be cooked, but then you can actually see the pieces of
individual,
meat. So so maybe it's like a nice to do thing to shred it instead of chop it. But anyway, so this broth, we are going to re-cook it, like leave it to simmer on the stove, because we want all of the juices of the onions to like get into the broth, and we want the onions to soften, because we want to cook it later on, so we want it to be very, very soft as possible. I'm not sure if we should add more water. I think it's really good enough though. We'll see. I think we'll add a little bit of water, then we're going to put it back on the stove, close it, simmer. Well, that will be shredding this chicken.
Is there any new comments? Are there any new comments? Chat. I always get them mixed up.
Malina Hussaini says, I guess the golden question is, what is the key of the youth's future to change for the better, individually and collectively?
What is the what?
Key.
Well, the starting, I think first of all, is the key thing to creating the better future is to realize your own responsibility as a member of the society. So in this case, in the case of what we were talking about recently,
Because oh my god, hold a second. Let me take a bowl and we'll do this water.
yeah,
Because as youths, we are literally
the future.
The future. Not just in the sense of figuratively.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, those the word shapes the people who define the direction will be moving towards
the path
people
of the society.
Yeah, the society is made up of a bunch of people, and the people who not exactly run, but they highly influence the society. So you have, for example, the leaders, the legislative members. Legislative. Oh, I've always called it legislative. Anyway, you have the teachers who teach the newer generation. You have the parents who
bring up the
shred that chicken.
Bring up the new generation.
Yeah. So these people were once the youth.
Is this a good size?
Yeah, that's a good size. You can go a bit thicker.
Oh.
And those people were the youth, these people who are now parents and leaders and teachers,
yeah.
They were the youth.
Which proves that the leaders, the parents, the teachers, and everything else in the future
are us.
Yeah.
So we are the future. We are the ones who will be
Running.
defining the direction of our country, you know. So thus, that actually comes with a very big responsibility that we should realize.
And if we do not realize, then how are we going to play our role in it? Well,
Yeah.
you could just somehow accidentally play a
no,
role
the thing is that
in it.
you are always your actions are always affecting
Yeah.
someone else. So even if in the most mundane of tasks, you know, you are somewhat either influencing in a ouch, that's hot.
Yeah, it's very
I'm sorry. If you are either influencing in a what do you call it? Say for example, you might give a big impact. Like for example, when you have a certain position and you allow something to happen. Let's just say, okay, something on a small scale. Let's say you're a prefect, you know, at school, and say you know, actually use that responsibility that's, you know, you have to help out the younger children and, you know, etc., all that. So that would be a role that you play, you know.
Yeah.
If you are, again though, if you are a prefect and you do not do anything, you still give an impact, you know.
Because you're not doing anything, and it causes the people to go astray.
Yeah.
The other students to go astray.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything. So that's why it's very important to first of all understand
that we
that-
all have
yes,
a role that we
and
play, responsibility,
yes,
whether or not
and
we
prominence.
acknowledge it. You know?
So yes, that's a very important part.
Yeah.
Whether or not we acknowledge it, it's still
Yeah.
going to impact it.
Yeah.
So
Thus,
because only after we realize it, then we could do something.
hold a
You know,
second. What was the question again?
what's the key to creating a better future? If I'm not mistaken?
Okay, yeah. So I think thus, you know, realizing acknowledging the responsibility and the role that we have. No, acknowledging that the fact that we have a responsibility.
Yes.
Thus, we should try to what do you call it? Like educate ourselves. We are trying to educate ourselves. So, you know, like just learn what what do you call it? Like learn what makes a country. First of all, learn about yourself.
Yes.
Learn about us. You know, like learn about your culture. Learn about your people. Understand your history, because it's the history which defines who you are.
We always say that. In
We always say that in the podcast. Like you are what your memory is. You know, what you remember of your past, what you learn, and etc. So similarly, a society is like built upon the collective memory, you know, the collective thing that has happened in that society, which is history. So,
and if you've you know, the reason why we're different from the past, us, is because of the different history we've developed. You know, and
different history. What does
no,
that mean?
I mean, I'm sorry. I did. That's we develop more things in our history. I'm trying. It's hard to put in words now.
The reason why we feel I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what you're going for.
What I'm trying to say is like you know, as we go through more in like as the society goes through more within the many generations, we start to change based on what we learn, based on what we faced, the experiences of the people, and that's what makes us, you know, different from the past.
How does that relate?
We going back to how we want to change the future.
Okay, I
So this
get
is like
it.
in the past.
I get it. Okay. Hold a second.
I think
What
I
you
should
meant
start-
to say is that we
Yeah, I think
grow every day.
Yes.
So, but then what you choose to do today would affect what happens tomorrow.
Yes.
That's why every time you are doing anything, you should
You should
choose,
choose- yeah.
to do something with the
Which-
idea. No. With the realization that what you're doing today affects tomorrow.
And with the intention of benefiting the tomorrow.
So then you'd be asking, you know, what benefits? So that is the part that we are learning every day, to be honest,
I'm
I
so
think,
slow
you know.
at shredding this thing.
It's okay. That's the thing that we learn every day, you know, I think. Like, we learn things like, for example, what, from something as simple as, for example, we learn about the welfare of people. Say, for example, we always live in a certain area, you know, and around us you can actually study you can observe, you can observe people who are, say for example, less beneficial, if we're talking about in like a, you know, social welfare kind of manner. People who are less beneficial, you know, less fortunate, less fortunate, you know, people who are facing certain problems. Then you can look into why these problems exist, you know, and how these problems can be
Less
solved.
benefited.
So how can you like can you lower down the stove? Thanks. So like, how can you together collectively help everyone out, you know,
Yeah.
to make the society a better place for everyone, especially for the children, because the children will be the future, you know.
The children are the future youth, which
Yeah.
will be the future.
And then other than that, obviously one of the biggest problems that we often see are criminal problems, you know, which actually is, most of them, there are other reasons, but most of them stems from social problems, say for example family, household problems, or just simply people who do not have enough what do you call it,
Pengisian, like
no, like who are not doing as well, and so desperation pushes them.
welfare.
No, it's okay. When some of these people aren't doing as well as others, you know, they're facing economical struggles, and perhaps they couldn't find good, well-paying jobs. Thus, it pushes them to a point of desperation where they, you know, do crimes.
Resort to crime.
Yeah. And then we also see other kinds of problems, like say for example climate change, you know, environmental problems. We see how like our actions are affecting the global climate, which is very dangerous because right now there's like, I can't remember where, the chunk of ice that's melting very fast, and that chunk of ice, if it actually does melt completely, there will be so many places which would be submerged underwater, if I'm not mistaken, including Shah Alam, if I'm not mistaken. So you know, these things, so when you learn these things, you educate yourself on these things, then you can see like what matters, you know. And amongst the ways to educate yourself is to study your history, study your culture, observe current issues, and to see things on a grand scale, because it's important to know that, because you know, everything that happens yesterday affects today, and everything that happens today affects tomorrow. Thus, a lot of these issues that we see are deep-rooted issues that have a long history, and it's not just today there's an economical struggle. What's the problem in it today? You know, you kind of like have to look back into history and etc. to actually understand it.
It's like a whole long reason, backstory for the economical crisis or, you know, problem, which because of that, it leads to because of a certain factor, it leads to many other things, which eventually leads to this. So that's why we can't just look back, because even if we trace back, for example, like 5 years back, so there's like maybe there's already 5 events which led to the problem, but there could be much more reasons before that leads up to the problem today. So it's really important to be aware of what's going on in general, so that you could,
and also what has happened, and to find the right sources, because okay, a good example, you know, the war happening now between Russia and Ukraine. The other day there was this, someone posted, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure there's more than this, but then the one that I know of, someone posted a video of like I can't remember, some Ukrainian soldier filming something in the sky, and then people are saying like, oh, this guy is so brave, they're like filming in the middle of like the war. That video was like from 2018, you know, things like that. So to find the right sources and to like be aware, like when you get a certain information, try to like dig down into where did that information come from. Is it a credible piece of information? Is it, you know, a credible source, like, you know, etc. However, talking about the key, what was it again? Key role
the key to.
The key to.
Can you read the comment again?
I'm sorry.
Key of the youth's future to change for the better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So talking about like changing for the future though, you cannot just sit down and educate yourself the whole like, because you will never stop learning. There's no such thing as a 100% educated person. That was synchronized. 100% educated person, you know, like you would first of all, if anyone goes around saying that they are, you know, 100% in the know, that's definitely a lie. Chances are they know like less than 50% of the information, because if you know 50%, you realize how much you don't know. So but the thing is that if you just spend your time learning and not doing anything, you will never be able to do anything, because you'll never stop learning. So after you've educated yourself somewhat and found like the right guides and the right sources and etc., then you should take certain actions, you know, like
first is like an internal action with yourself.
Yeah, which
and
is
then,
the educating yourself part. Then the external part,
which is to make the difference in the society. Because you first need to make a difference to yourself. Yeah. Which is why the whole awareness.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I'm purposely singing it out of tune just because I do not know does the MC is right. So anyway, yeah. So in that change part, there's many ways that you can make a change. You can go to the whole. Let's take climate change as like, you know, a problem. So you can aim for, you know, passing laws to sanction certain stuff and create certain restrictions to actually make, you know, a gigantic, large scale kind of change. Or you can like try to pay attention. You can also do little things. Like for example, teach the people, change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Say for example, in cases of, let's take for example, what do you call it? Carbon emission. You can try to be conscious of how much carbon footprint you leave. You know, like your electrical usage. You know, your even things like for example plastic usage. Because in the end, all of these things that's being manufactured
will be leaving carbon footprints.
Yeah. So, you know, try to like be aware of your lifestyle. How can you how can you change your lifestyle for the better, you know? In that sense. So, but then I understand that sometimes it feels like these tiny actions feel so, what do you call it? Like, it doesn't even affect things on a large scale, and, you know, very frustrating and etc. And you want to do more. Because personally, I felt that. I have felt very, very angry and upset and frustrated because I feel like I can't do anything for the better. But then we actually like had participated in this talk this morning where the presenter gave an analogy. He said that there is this tree, a mango tree. He said mango tree specifically. And you see this very ripe fruit, which looks really, really good, and is really, really good, high at the top of the tree. And you want to go and get that. You, however, have limitation. You don't have
a ladder
to climb up.
Long stick with a hook to pluck the mango.
You know, you don't have the equipment to get to that mango. Yet you still want to try and get that mango. But instead, if you instead focus on the low-hanging fruits, the fruits are perhaps not as good, but you can still get, you know, certain effects. And then you can learn, say for example, from getting those fruits, first of all, you get the fruits. Second of all, perhaps other people, you know, like the fruits otherwise would go to waste. It'll just fall to the ground. You'd be wasting a lot of fruits. And that would leave a bad effect. And third of all, as you are getting these low-hanging fruits, you learn the trick of getting fruits, which may actually in the end
help you to get the fruits up there.
Yep.
Without actually needing to use like a ladder or
I mean, you know, in this case, you can't like get that fruit without a ladder or a stick, but you know, like just okay, you can climb the tree.
I was supposed to say that.
Yeah. But you know, that like these little action does leave an effect. I mean, let's take this for example. If everyone in this world, like every person, are conscious of their let's take a very easy example. Are conscious of where they throw away their trash.
Yeah.
No one leaves trash on the grounds everywhere. You know, like people actually place it in the trash can. We're not even talking about recycling them. Just, you know,
Littering.
yes. Then there would be no litter on the ground. And so, yeah, perhaps it feels frustrating when you are the only person who do not litter. But you do need to realize that you not littering is
Contributing to the whole
yeah.
world's littering problem.
And I think the easiest way to go around creating awareness to others is to like create awareness in between friends and family.
Yeah. And one of the best way to create awareness, not create awareness, but like to change people is by setting examples.
Yeah.
So by, for example, by not littering, and by, you know, making littering look terrible.
Littering is terrible.
Yeah, but like, you know, making it clearer for the people who are not aware of it. Then they will be, you know, less prone to littering.
Yeah.
At least when in front of
By
you.
creating an awareness of the effects of
Yeah.
littering. Yeah.
So, and eventually that will lead to a habit and lead them to.
You know, this is like Gen Z meets world without edit. We have
Yeah.
one prompt and we go years on it. You know, like. But yeah, so that is like, I think, you know, a way to.
Hey, the rain stopped.
Oh yeah, the rain stopped. But in the world of today, there is also another be wary of bones. In the world of today, there is also another very, very, very important role, a responsibility that we carry, which is to when was it? I think early February or early January. Our government, like specifically in Malaysia, our government has I'm not sure how do you phrase
17th
that.
January or something like that.
Yeah. So
Lowered down the voting limit. The age limit. Yes, that's not the voting limit. The age limit for voting, the minimum age limit, from 21 years of age to 18 years of age, which means that people within the ages of 18 to 20, so like 18, 19, 20 years old, can now vote upon reaching the age of 18, 19, 20. This means that this, if I'm not mistaken, there's millions. I can't remember specifically how many million people now have the responsibility as voters for the country whenever we have an election, whether it be by-election, state elections, or general election. So this is a very important. How do I say this? It's a very important moment in our history because we are changing drastically to something new, and so at the same time, it is very important for those affected. That being the people within that range of age, to be aware of their responsibilities as voters. So much like the littering example we had just now, even if you are the only one to vote, it will still bring a big difference, because that's the reason why you've been given the responsibility to vote, so that you could have a say in making sure that the future of the country doesn't fall into shambles.
The thing about voting is that some people are against are not very happy with the whole idea and concept of democracy, where you vote. But the thing is that regardless of whether or not you agree with democracy, right now each person, because now you do not need to register, you are automatically a voter once you reach the age of 18, at a certain month. I think January of
after you reach age of 18, then wait for the 17th of whatever month that
After
is
that.
going to, like if your birthday is on like 1st March,
Okay.
then on 17th March.
March.
But if your birthday is on
No,
18th
no,
March,
okay. Then you have to wait for
April.
Yeah, okay,
So like
17th,
wait for
yeah.
the next 17th.
of the month, then you're automatically a voter. So being a voter, regardless of whether or not you register, you are already, like again to the not taking any actions statement that we gave, you are already giving an impact into the whole scheme of things. So you are already, if you vote, there will be an impact, obviously. If you don't vote, there will still be an impact. There will be that what do you call it, like non-action, I can't remember the term, but regardless of whether or not you vote, there is an effect already onto everyone, onto the whole country. So that's why it is very important for you to vote, regardless of whether or not you think you agree with democracy. I am not judging whether, like, this is not a democracy is good or democracy is bad. This is just you have that responsibility, although I mean democracy does have a lot of pros. Any system would have some, what do you call it, drawbacks, so it's true. I get the criticism of democracy in the sense of, like, sometimes the people who are not educated enough, like not as sometimes you're making a choice without actually knowing your choice.
Yeah.
So in fact, like, we have met this person who we were like, not us, our father asked him, so who are you voting? And then that person said, oh, I'm voting candidate B. Why are you voting candidate B? Oh, because she looks pretty. Like, but it's true. And that is a very big drawback, like a negative side to democracy, because you are entrusting such a
Large audience.
No. You are entrusting such an important,
Right.
such a crucial, like, you are entrusting these people who may not have the access to information to make an educated choice, a educated decision, to make a decision on something that impacts everyone.
Yeah.
So
So it not only it affects them, but affects like
everyone
else.
and the future. Yes, that is a big drawback. But then this thing is existent at any rate, and there are a lot of pros of democracy at any rate, So regardless of wherever you stand on that, voting, I think, is a very big role that you do need to
Because
play.
either way,
Especially
even if you
today.
want to get rid of democracy, say you do not like the system, you will still need to vote in order to make that change. Because you can't just say that you want it to be changed without voting under the system of today, unless you're going to
lead a revolt.
revolution.
Yeah. Which
Then-
I really do not agree with.
Yeah. So either way, whatever change that you want to make will have to go through the system today. So which is democracy in our case.
Any comments?
Amanina Hussaini said, thank you so much for the insights. Definitely little changes make big differences.
Tell us your insight too, because like that's the reason why we like having
these conversations.
Yeah, because we want to, we're just used to talking with ourselves.
Yeah.
We also want to hear other people's opinions too. I think that is the way to learn,
Yeah.
to hear the many sides. To first of all, build your own principles, build your worldview, as according to, like, from your parents, from your teachers, from your society, your culture, have that standard of who you are, your own narrative, and then you go out there and learn,
Yeah.
Like, some people nowadays, they do not have their own narrative, their own, person, principle, etc. And then when they go out, they just flow.
Because it's you need to have that certain thing.
Yeah, of who you are.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Because otherwise your skin will just fall.
Yeah.
So
And
there's-
it's impossible though for your skin to
in-
fall.
in-
So
in
you
that-
become a. Okay, I don't know.
There's that
Never mind.
in the book, in the encyclopedia, we mentioned about the encyclopedia, the children's encyclopedia in the
that
book
books
episode.
of
So
the
that
podcast.
encyclopedia had a picture of if a human doesn't have
Bones.
and it shows like a clown with boneless and the skin's like all over the ground.
Yeah.
melt it. So yeah, that's basically.
Okay. So now we are moving into the part B. This is the final part of the harissa, though it's still going to take some time.
What time is it? Oh, it's still early.
It's good, we're on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pots.
Okay, this is chicken broth. Once again.
Oh.
Yeah. Smell. The spices are in, and the chicken broth. Okay, so
I can just drink this on its own.
there's no salt or
No,
whatever.
there's no
Oh
salt.
wait, we wish to mention salt. We need salt. Okay, so there's the broth. Oh, we were supposed to soak the oats in the chicken broth. What? I don't remember doing that last time. Did we do that last time? Yeah. Okay. Never mind. How our mother cooked this, she didn't. If she did, I hope we do not make a mistake. Anyway, so people usually sieve this, like to get all of the onion stuff out. But we personally like the onion bits.
Yeah.
So traditionally, people usually sieve it. So
But
you
we're
can sieve
getting
it.
the star anise out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we take the spices out.
Oh, I want the clove though.
You can eat the clove outside.
Right, cool.
Yeah, just get them out. You want to help?
Sure.
Just
I
get.
just need. Should I get new
Yeah.
fork?
Just get a new pair of fork. So we'll get all these spices out. So yeah, that was like. I think that is in general like the role that we play in society, because like the thing is that we are the future. We would be the people who define the future, you know? Even if you are just going to be a person who run a business, you would give you can make an impact with that business.
Yes.
You know?
You can make a difference
With that
with that
business.
business.
So why do you want to just be a mundane business person when you can be a business person
Who changes the society for the better?
Yeah. So, you know. And in fact, you know, again, inaction is still an act. Inaction is still an action. And so, you know, being inactive, you still are actually doing something. You're still acting. So yeah. So to first realize that, then to educate yourself, then to try to do things and make things nice. We're almost there with the harissa.
I think it's already. Is this like? No, it's just.
Well, I mean, you can count. We had those, and then we had 5 cloves.
I feel like
1,
there's more than 5. I don't
2,
know.
3, 4. Okay, one more. I feel like there might be another tiny clove.
Oh, cardamom?
Oh yes. God. Oh my god. If
Oh, no, you're pushing it away.
cardamoms do not taste so nice.
It's gone now.
Oh no. The cardamom camouflage.
Oh, there
there's
it is. Yeah, that's why we can't see it.
Because like the other spices are dark colored, the cardamom is like yellowish.
Oh,
Yes.
I think it's there. Maybe it's not. Nope, it's just chicken.
Oh well, I
How
think
many
it's
condiments
easier.
did you put?
Okay, hold a second. 4. I think it's easier if we pour it in here.
Yeah, it's shallower.
Bismillah. Okay. Ouch, that splashed.
Oh, that hurts.
How much water?
Oh,
Ma, help us! I do not want to mess it up. I think you can just add. Okay. I remember. You can if you
oh my god,
when
it's opening up.
once you add the oats, if it looks like you need more water, you can just add a bit more water.
Are there any new comments?
But you don't want to add the water too early on, because if there's too much water, you'll spoil the whole food. That's it.
And spoiled food is not good.
You know, obviously.
For one, Berman OL
Hello,
sends
Berman.
an emoji. I cannot read this. I cannot translate this emoji into speech, unfortunately.
I probably need to look at it.
And speech apparently have limits.
Hold on a second.
Right.
He sounds like a hugs.
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 Arms wide open?
Yeah,
or
arms wide open.
Arms wide open, yeah.
Hugs.
I can't
Hello,
remember the
Payman.
the name of it according to Unicode.
Get all of the onion things out. People usually don't, because people usually do not like the onion things. Maybe traditionally you are supposed to get the onion things out, but we love the onion things.
So we use
Add the
yeah,
onion
we-
things because it doesn't spoil the food. It just adds onion chunks. Because these onions are borderline tasteless by now.
The hunt for the cardamom. There should be
This-
one, right?
yeah,
oh,
one left.
two. Oh, one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh well. Whoever gets that cardamom when we eat is an unlucky person. Shall we go with that?
We could see it on the bright side and say that it's lucky because they found the one
I
cardamom.
found it!
Oh, nice.
Okay, get the onions up. Okay. Right.
Oh no, it fell.
Let me get the ghee.
Okay.
Does the ghee go inside the harissa? Or does the ghee, is this the ghee for the... I think the ghee goes inside the harissa.
I do believe so as well.
I'm sorry,
After
I'm
that,
sorry,
we
I
do it
just
for
saw-
the side dish thing. I can't remember what it's called.
Topping.
Topping. Yeah.
Garnish.
Garnish.
Or like, I don't know, seasoning?
Not
Whatever.
seasoning.
Okay. Not seasoning. So here we go. Yes?
Amanina Hussaini says, personally, I agree with all the things mentioned, realizing own responsibilities, changing our lifestyles, spreading awareness, act properly according to your roles in society. I believe that the root of all this is influencing others, especially in education. We influence other people, right? In a child's perspective, his or her parents are the role models. So to change the future, change in ourselves is a must. We will become the next parent, next teacher to someone. Whatever we write or say to others will indirectly impact them.
Yep.
I think that's all for me. What you're doing now, videos and podcasts are great influencers for youth nowadays. And I appreciate all the content. So informative and beneficial to all of us.
That's cool. Thank you so much. Like, it's really nice hearing, people, like, if you, appreciate the podcast, because, like, we do want to,
We don't know if
Yeah.
if it is appreciated or not.
yeah. Or, like, if whether or not it helps, and
Yeah.
we do want to help. Like, the reason why we made the podcast was to have a space to have a conversation, to have conversations like these, so that we can together learn, about, like, the whole big wide world. That's why Gen Z meets
world.
Yeah,
Because we're
so-
meeting the world.
yeah. And
rather
thank
than
you so
just-
much for your insight. We definitely agree with that. Like, that's the part that scares me. If the people today are the people who's going to be tomorrow, if today is bad, how are the people who grow up in that bad environment going to make a better environment? Like, sometimes that scares me. But then again, with the low hanging fruit analogy, like, you can do, if you realize that, then do what you can. Little by little, these little actions would give a gigantic
Even if, like, for example, it won't go downhill for a while, but because of your actions now,
it
will stop it eventually.
yeah.
And then from there, it will start to go up, and then you could reach the higher fruits.
And like, in the end, even if it doesn't, let's be pessimistic and say that it doesn't. In the end, you gave a positive impact. You
Yeah.
did what you can,
And because that would be the positive, at least a small positive
Yeah.
impact that you would get
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
from the thing that you did.
Yeah.
So kudos for you for that. Kudos to you.
And us.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for the insight. I appreciate it. So now, we are going to switch on the induction cooker, so that might make some noise. You need to adjust that.
To press a lot of keys.
Oh, you're going to press some keys?
No, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to press some keys. Okay, so now we have the broth. According to this recipe, it says soak oat and chicken stock for 30 minutes. But I don't remember our mother doing that last time, so we're not going to. I know, maybe that's because those are like hard oats, rolled oats. These are quick cooked oats, so you don't have to soak them. I think that's
they're
what
going
happened.
to cook
Yeah.
quick.
And then it says place on medium heat, add chicken. Okay, I personally would prefer the chicken to be shredded finer, but because of the time, we can't shred it like crazy fine, you know? Can you see it? So I prefer finer chicken. Like I prefer them to be like this fine.
As compared to this fine.
Yeah. But because we're on a time constraint, so we'll just go with that. Clean, hygiene, clean your hands. Okay, so what goes next? Place on medium heat, add chicken, biryani powder, which we're not using, we're using kutuk, milk, salt. Wait for it to thicken, then add ghee and stir till congeals. Whatever that means. I mean, I know what congeals mean, but I don't know, it just sounded like a cool thing to say. Okay, let's measure the milk. How much? 1 cup? Yes, 1 cup?
If I'm not mistaken, just hold on. 1 large cup. No, that's 1 large onion.
B.
B, right. Large onion, 2 tablespoons.
Okay. Oh, sorry, so sorry.
SPR. What's SPR?
No, that's not part of the recipe up
Oh
there.
my goodness. 1 cup evaporated milk. Yes.
Okay, so 1 cup evaporated milk. Bismillah.
The problem of using recycled paper
This is
for recipes.
actually not evaporated milk, it's evaporated creamer, but it's
Close enough. That's so perfect. Cool.
okay, 1 cup milk, 250 grams oats, large onion, we've added it in,
2
spice
tablespoons.
mix.
2 tablespoons. So
It's okay, we'll just estimate. I'll use a spoon.
right.
I can't see the recipe.
Oh,
And ghee. Okay, we get this. We've got this. Hold a second, let's move the stuff that we're not using.
cooking
Okay.
is fun.
I love cooking.
But Abani says, moral of the story, don't just do things because it seems cool. Chances are it isn't.
Okay.
I mean, it isn't cool to do things just because it seems cool. At least for most cases.
But it's nothing wrong to
So,
do with cool.
Yeah,
cool
it's
things.
nothing wrong to do cool things.
Yeah.
As long as you have a purpose, like, you know, more than just because you're following because it seems cool.
Okay, we're switching this on. It's going to make some noise, like so that might be a bit of a bother, but sorry, the induction cooker makes a noise, and you know,
We haven't found
A way
a silent
to-
induction cooker yet.
or like a way to not make it, you know, translate. But beep, and then
Beep.
beep. Medium heat. Is 80 medium? 60 is low. 80 is medium. I think that's right. Okay.
I have no idea.
So, oh no, I do not want to use this one. This is not going to be. Yeah, it's still. Get the bowl. Thanks. Hold carefully. Let's go. Just put it aside. In case we want to use it again. Can you get the wooden? Was it outside? The wooden spatula. Let me go check. It's here. Okay, here we go. Chicken. When the spice come in? Oh, spice comes in later. I think you can put the spice in now. Chicken goes inside the chicken broth. Lower.
It exits the chicken broth and then it
Enters
enters.
the chicken broth again. Okay. It would be preferable if you make it finer. Oof! I'm so sorry. I knocked it. No. Can you get the
It did not hit
sponge?
me.
No, it didn't.
Yay! Kitchen accident number 1.
We've never had a kitchen accident.
Not in the previous one, I think.
That's cool. We're accomplished cooks. Almost. Okay, I think we need a bit more water.
This is why we put it on plates, so that if it spills,
Yeah, yeah.
it won't spill. Well, mostly on the plate. It did spill on the floor as well, but then you see
Just
most
a
of
tiny
it.
drop
Yeah,
on
just a
the
tiny drop and a few splashes on the countertop.
Can you move the
Whole
sponge?
thing? Oh,
No,
sponge.
the sponge.
I can
Like,
continue.
absorb, yeah, yeah. Okay, not too much water. You don't want it to be too soggy, but you want it to be decently watered, you know. Now, when do you add in the milk? It's not stated in the recipe.
I guess we could just.
Oh
add
wait,
it.
it is stated.
Oh.
I'm sorry. My mistake. You add the spices. 2 tablespoons, more or less. If we're doing something wrong, I'm so sorry. But I think we're doing it. We're on the right track, I think. Do-do-do-do. That's a chunk of chicken there.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, we missed it.
One second. Let me just chop it up.
Oh, you want to do it? Okay, yeah. I was going to just chop it up with the spell scissors.
Is it hot?
Not too
Not too
hot. Here we go.
Again.
Ready?
No. It's not done yet. Oh, that. Right.
No, you. But it's okay. I'll add the milk first.
Can I just start it?
Milk goes in. I hope I'm doing this right.
Hopefully.
Because there is a bit like because we don't add the oats immediately, you know.
The milk is going to help it, help to give it the creamy.
Not help. It just will.
Yeah.
The milk will give it a creamy taste. Okay. Okay. I should have how do past tense bear in mind?
Born.
I should have born. Is it
Born. B-O-R-N-E.
born in mind?
Must be born in mind.
I must have past tense bear in mind that I'm going to add milk, so I didn't need to add as much water. I'll put up the heat a bit. Why does it say braise? It doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's just the temperature. I'll do water.
But water will revert to.
Is it? Okay, I'll do soup. I'll do
Fry is the
fry.
best. Yeah, because fry it won't change. That one's like there's a preset of like how
Okay.
when it will do this and that.
Okay. I prefer the traditional stove. But we can't move the traditional stove. So.
Because when I'm making tea on this, and I use water,
Ah.
I want to make it on the lowest heat, and then suddenly at a certain point we'll change it to the maximum heat, and it will suddenly boil at once, which is not what I
You
want.
have to wait for the water to boil, don't you? I think that's what happened last time.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I
oh
did
wait,
not
salt.
participate last
Where's the
time.
salt?
Here.
Oh, I am blind. How much salt? Just like about, then we taste it. Hopefully that's good. I think we might need to add more salt because we're going to add in the oat, and that is going to water down the taste. The tasting bowl. Anyway, talking about voting, Johor is having a election, state election, 12th March.
It's like about 2 weeks.
So if you guys are Johoreans, come down. Like that is, a very important thing to do. And when you want to vote, make sure that you like look into, like first of all, look into who your where you're going to vote from, etc. Get your information like where do you go to vote, like your what do you call it, that pusat mundi,
Voting center. Polling station. And now that the COVID is around, the Election Commission
have
provided
listed a guideline of like some like SOPs. So there are things like, for example, a recommended time for you to go and vote,
which will be different based on each person, because
Yeah.
they have assigned for each and every voter
a recommended time.
a recommended time of
Because
range.
they are hoping to not have like a bunch of people at one time.
Because
and
usually what will happen is like
Everyone
during the
comes.
day everyone comes, and during the evening nobody comes.
which is a good
So,
thing to go out early.
Yeah.
But then now that COVID is around, we cannot pack the
So
station.
it's better to utilize the evening times.
Yes. Like to like spread it out.
Yeah,
evenly.
spread it out, yeah.
So thus, they arrange this like guideline of like when you go out and vote, when is the recommended time for you to go out and vote. So check that out. Find out what is the recommended time for you to vote. Try to abide to that. If other people don't do it, it's okay. You do it. Play your part in not spreading COVID. And then after that, look into the candidates in your constituency that you're voting at. Like, what are they bringing to the table? What is the party? Some people go like, only vote for the candidate. I believe that the candidate is representing the party
Yeah.
too. So it's true that you want to look into who the candidate is. That is very important. Very, very important. Sometimes people just vote for party and they don't look into candidates, which they should have a good balance of both. They should look into the candidate and also the party.
Because they must be aware that the candidate that they choose
will
be
be forming a government with the
with
party.
the party and
So
making
like collective.
policies
decisions.
based on the party's
Yeah.
principles
Because
and policy.
just if you like this one candidate but you don't like the whole party, and all the other candidates you don't like, that one candidate may not be able to
Do anything,
much.
bring anything to the table
Yeah.
because of
So that
pressure.
does play an effect. So try to look into that. This thing is taking a long time to do. I think it's about right. I think we can just add. Oh wait, hold on a second. I need to taste. We're just like bored. Add in stuff.
This is how we cook.
No, it's not. But I usually cook patiently. Okay, more salt. And more spices. Smoke is getting in my eyes. The steam is getting in my eyes. Oh wait, I think it's
Yeah.
tasty first. We have used kurma powder, like spice mix. We have used biryani spice mix. We have used kruto spice mix. So far, this is the best. Like
By far.
by far, it's so good. It may be our Terengganu taste buds overruling our Johor taste buds, but regardless, it's good. You can give it a go. Like, you can actually experiment when you want to cook it. Try out the many spices.
Different.
Try to imagine what the spice will taste like, and try to imagine what you would like. Then go with it.
And if you could find some other spice aside from these three that you feel might fit, it might fit. Like, I don't think this kutuk was ever recommended by anyone else, right? Yeah.
I mean, gluto is like a random Terengganu
Yeah.
spice. I think a bit more. I already scooped some spice mix into the spoon and I just drop it back. Okay. Did our mother add black pepper? I think she added a bit of black
A
pepper.
bit.
Can you pass the black pepper? Okay, so now we channel the cooking show host. Now that we have now the chicken broth is boiling with the milk and the chicken and the onions. I'm pretty sure they don't see it like that, but you know. Okay, and so now we are stirring the chicken broth. You can't just add it in.
Okay.
And we are grating, what do you have? Grinding some black pepper into the broth. And adding some salt to taste. Just to taste. Just a petit peu. And now we stir this soup thing again.
Soup thing.
Okay. Our mother said something about getting the timing of something right. I think I want to add a little bit of what do you call it, like flavor enhancer.
Flavor enhancers are amazing because they taste.
Enhance flavors.
They enhance flavors. Yeah, it tastes like I don't know.
They don't taste good on
They
their
don't
own.
taste good at all on their own.
I get it.
So it's
I mean, you know, they're not meant to be.
yeah. Like
They're just meant to enhance flavors. The moment, like, our mother talked about harissa since we were younger, and she never cooked it then. And I had always wanted to taste the harissa and like know how it tastes like for so many years. And then when she finally cooked it, I was like, this is so good. She used to have to eat harissa all the time because her atuk, like when she goes back to Johor, her atuk would be like, her name is Asman. Asman, atuk masak harissa hari ini. And then she didn't exactly like the harissa then. And you know, so she kind of dreaded that. But then it was a fond memory. And then when she grew older, she's like, I wonder if I can cook that. And like, you know, maybe it tastes good. And then she tried. And then we all, like, I love it. Though then we used a different spice mix, so it tasted differently. And then we, you know, eventually found the rempah kutuk. And then it was like, so good. And this is now our version. It's like a family recipe. You know? Yeah, that's cool. I love improvising recipes. Because like improvising recipes is like an art, you know, that I really love.
Yeah. But it's something that I cannot, well, at least for now.
Okay. Okay, it's almost there. I think a bit more salt because we're going to add oat. Was that a lot of salt?
I don't think so.
That's cool. Plus, there's like a lot of oat.
Yeah.
So this is
To
going
compensate.
to water down. Yeah. Yeah. Compensate.
Compensate.
To flavor. To what?
No, this thing to compensate.
Oh, okay. Never mind. It's okay. I'm confused. I stir. Oh wait, cooking show. How do you do that? I haven't watched cooking show in so long. The cooking shows I watch nowadays are like silent. You know, if you can hear that. You know, and then it goes like. Yeah, those are the cooking shows these days, so. Okay, here we go.
What do you use to push it?
Oh, you just pour.
Oh,
Just slowly, gradually.
I thought
Can
you
you
were
do?
going to use the.
Ah, that's a good idea. Okay, hold me. Hold that ice down. Sit this way so they can see.
Good idea.
Okay, go.
Oh, the steam. Oh, the steam is hurting my fingers.
And then it's going to get very hard to stir because it's going to start to thicken. You want to push in the oats gradually to not have like clumps. Maybe you can just push it in one go and not have clumps, but you know,
It's always
advisable.
safer to do it this
Yeah.
way.
Go, 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 go. Yay! I think we need a bit more water, or what do you think? I think let's stir it first.
Yeah, we'll stir it first, then we see.
It looks like, I think we
I
need
think
more
we
water.
do need it, yeah.
You place that very close to the microphone. Can you get the spoon so that I can like stand taller and it'll be easier for me to stir? Or maybe it's fine. I mean, I don't know. You can just put the stool beside me in case I need it. Or you can stir, but then you have to make sure you stir it thoroughly. Do you want to try?
Sure.
Stir it thoroughly. As in not just like get everything like,
Is that good?
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And just like, I'm teasing you. It's good. It's okay. It's fine. Spoon for the tasting. Because we added some water and now we added the oats, so we might need more spices and so. We need more salt.
Starting to boil.
There's not much left in this one. Come here, spices. Try to get that to not come yet. When do we add the ghee? Okay, thick. Not sponsored, but Tokma Karutuk powder. It's so good. It's a lifesaver. You want to monitor the condition of the oats. So if you see that it's still like kind of hot, but the water is like draining out, like not draining out, like running out, like like the water is like being absorbed into the oat, but it's still like far away from being soft, you add a bit more water, So kind of like monitor that. Yeah, it's okay, you can go. Just add in. Okay, the traditional way of cooking this, you cook this for a very, very, very long time in gigantic pots. So this is like kind of like express harissa, There's also another version of harissa called jaris, I think. Like haris, but jaris.
Maybe the J is pronounced. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know where boko boko came from. That's a random. It might have not actually been the same, recipe, but the same dish. Like, there may have been absolutely no historical correlation, but people call it that. Here it goes. I think a bit more water or no? What do you think?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
I feel like it's just the part of the thickening process.
Okay. I think it looks like, because I feel like there's still oat those oat looks a little bit dry
Yeah,
still. Yeah. I hope we're doing this right. Usually it looks nicer because we shred the chicken thinner. Today it's a little bit.
It's express.
Express harissa. This one. It's hot. Hot express harissa. I think a bit more salt, but we're getting there. I feel like our mother obviously makes better harissa, but this is a good start,
We're gonna have it
I
for
want
dinner.
to add a little bit more nutmeg. This is the part where I start going, ooh, what spice to add? A bit more nutmeg. Can you take cumin? I think cumin, ketumbar, coriander, sorry. Sometimes I mix up the spices and then I have to like... It depends on the dish. If it's a Malaysian dish, usually I would remember by the Malay name of the spice. If it's a Korean dish, I usually remember it by the English name. Yeah, I think cumin. I think I do want a bit of cumin. I'm sorry. This one might actually be enough. I'll try with cumin first. Yeah, definitely cumin. Oh, I think we need a bit more water. Okay. Okay, try to set that in. Can you, oh wait, the ghee is already here. I'm sorry. How much ghee? What was this? Spices.
Spice mix.
3 tablespoons. I think I'm tablespoons.
Do we need more water or is this?
I think it's already fine. We'll start with 1 tablespoon. This is a good ghee, so we'll start with 1 tablespoon.
Oh, the smell of ghee is so good.
Some people don't like the smell of ghee. Stir it. Don't stop stirring. Stir it. I want to taste the... So what consistency you're going to be aiming for is sort of like a mushed consistency. So first, like, you add the water and when you add the oat, obviously the oat is going to soften and then it's going to like get mushy and it's going to thicken, and then you want to keep on stirring it and cooking it until it like gets to this mushed pasting. That's the trick. You're being too dramatic about it.
I'm trying to make sure I'm missing it already.
It's getting there. I'm so happy. This is tasting like what I like so much.
I am so afraid that my hand will hit the pot because the handle is so tiny.
It's okay. You'll do fine. Okay, let me do that.
Need the stool?
No, it's fine. How many of you guys have eaten harissa? I would love to know. Because like I myself have just tasted harissa like last year.
Last year.
Yeah, when our mother finally cooked it. I have actually been pestering her to cook harissa for a while because I want to know how it tastes like, because she always talks about it. Like, she talks about it being like such a cool Johor food, and Johoreans do like, like when we go to Johor, like everyone, when we mention harissa to people, they go like, harissa, so like I want to know how does it taste like. But like our mother didn't cook it because she's like, she doesn't like it. But then she thought, yeah, maybe she would like it if she, cater it to her taste. And then she found this recipe in this really cool recipe book. The
Premier's cuisine of the premiers?
Yeah, something like that. It's like a cookbook by this cook who cooks for prime ministers or something like that.
Yeah.
So
among the prime ministers was
Tun
Hussein
On,
who's
Johorean.
Johorean,
And the food, amongst the food that he likes, is harissa. So, am I offering? I'm sorry if I am. I hope I am not.
I think not by too much, because
Yeah.
you're just slightly taller than me. It's not the same height.
So yeah. So she got the recipe from that book. Then she, changed the spice mix, and etc. So yeah. So this recipe that we took out, that's not like exactly the recipe from the book. It's already changed. This is our family's recipe. She never got the recipe from her atuk, but you know, we have this. Okay, try stirring it. I want to taste it before it really congeals because it's getting there.
She's gone. Disappeared.
You're off.
Oh.
Cook.
From the banana says I've never eaten harissa in my whole life.
Well, you can try now. You know that. Jot down the recipe that we just like shared.
Or rewatch if you can't. If you forgot already, you did not mention.
Then try it out because it's really, really good. Honestly, I do recommend it.
I'm really hungry right now because it smells so good.
The spice mix, you kind of like have to try it out. You know, like add a bit more and a bit less. Like go for. To be honest, in cooking, you do have like these basic principles of what makes the dish. You know, so you do want to try to follow that. But in the end, you can just try to improvise to, you know, like that's how recipes evolve. That's how harissa came to be. If harissa is from haris is like with wheat instead of oats, you know, and like with different spices. Then it came here and then it becomes this. And in fact, harissa is probably in the same category as if you're from the East Coast in Malaysia, bubur Ashura or sugar. Like Terengganoans have them, the Kelantanese have them, Kedah I think also have a version of it. So I think it is about the same thing, you know, just with like slightly different ingredients and stuff. So, you know, it's like adapted. You do need to have, like in these traditional food, you do want to retain certain aspects of it, you know, to retain the culture in it. Like, actually there's a lot that you can learn from food. Like say for example this one, you know, being from the an Arab dish, you can see the relation between our cuisine and their cuisine, our culture, their culture, our people, their people. You know, like, there's some history there that you can look into.
Food is a very important part of culture. So
yeah, and some people do mention
studying culture will include studying food. So
and some people mention that these are the food for like the more well-to-do people.
If I'm not mistaken, the book says the aristocrats specifically.
And I can't remember which one was. I can't remember if it was the Armenian harissa or the haris from the Lebanon Iraq centers. It is also similarly. The haris or the harissa is also a food for like the, you know, upper class kind of people, but it is a food that they cook for charity. But it is a food that they cook for charity, you know. So sorry, Ahmad took a sneeze break. He went out to sneeze, and then clean his hands. So yeah, you know, that's why they cook it on special days. Like they cook it, and then they share it with the people. That's like kind of like the tradition. So yeah, I feel like it needs a bit more water because it's not exactly really combining well. So
I'm not sure. Like at this point, it's already hard for me to tell.
Here, you stir it.
Okay.
In the end, after you have stirred it for a very long while, okay, here's the thing. It doesn't look as dark, I know. That is because we use kerutuk, which is like lighter. There's no more spice in here. Never mind. If you saw it just now, the spices are lighter. Kurma spice is like darker. And if you use meat, like beef,
beef,
then it's going to be darker. This is like chicken. Yeah, and biryani spices mix is also darker, so it goes with the spice that you add in. The more black pepper you add, the darker it'll be. The more spice you add, the darker it will be.
If you add food coloring, it will be a different color.
The less. Do not suggest that. We are not going to make blue rice. If you add in, see, the nutmeg's darker than this spice, cumin. So if you add more of these, it'll be darker. More of these, it'll be lighter. More milk you add, it'll be lighter. So. You want to stir it and stir it and stir it until it congeals. It's taking a while, but it's okay. We are doing this! It's so exciting. So yeah. What do you aspire to do? Like to play, being part of society, having this responsibility, what are you doing about it?
Well, I feel like a lot of the problem is relating back to the whole what we mentioned about awareness and such.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to do something that could. I threw some. Into your shirt.
It's fine. Okay. So you want to do some?
Oh yeah, creating awareness among the community, the society, and making sure that the people are aware and not only aware but
doing their
they know that they need to, and they do take action. That's the word.
So creating an awareness
and helping people. Because sometimes the thing is that sometimes when people do want to take action but they can't, they don't have the right avenue to. So it's also really cool to actually provide that avenue and platform for people to do that. I think that is the main thing that I want to do.
I want to do something about the education system, because I feel like what builds the society, being the young generation being the future, you're not stirring it. Maybe you hold it. I'll do this thing.
Yeah.
Being the young generation being the future, what builds that young generation is the education that they get, the environment they grow in, even to the minute detail of the environment they go in. Some people overlook that, even if they have a really good education, the environment can affect that children's mindset and worldview. So I do want to I have a few ideas of what I want to do, but the main thing is that I want to sort of create a better space for the children to grow up in, children. So I'm not sure what exactly. I'm just trying to take a step at a time, which I think is a cool thing, because after COVID happened, you realize how much things can change and how far your plans can go awry. So now I'm okay, at this moment I can see I want to do this. Yeah, I can do this way, so I'll try doing that, and then it's not exactly the whole gigantic thing I want to do. It's not that top highest fruit, but it's these low hanging fruits. I'll take that, and then once I get that ladder, one day I've acquired that ladder, then I'll climb up and get that.
Going back to when I was interviewed for my foundation studies application, one of the things that I said was, I never pictured myself studying anything else other than law when I was younger, which by younger I mean just before that. But then now I'm studying human science, and
because that's the door that you see.
Yeah, the door that I see, and the door that's opened right in front of me,
and it can lead you to do what you want to do. It may not be part of your plan, but
it's not something entirely out of the way.
Yeah.
And it's also not entirely exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'll still go with it, because
taking our grandmother's words.
Yeah.
She's from Terengganu, so she says selesaikan masalah which basically means solve the problems one by one. Take a step at a time. You have 10 problems. Yeah, you can't solve all 10 at once. Solve the ones that you can see immediately, you know, what the solution's going to be. Solve that.
And then you
go
think
on.
about the other problems.
Yeah.
Like sometimes even when the first problem will
This is about right, I think.
will be related to the other problem. Finish the first one first, then you.
I think.
Huh?
Yeah, I think it's about right.
Yeah, it does look.
Oh, it's hot. I forgot. Okay, you want these?
Yeah.
This requires some muscle work because it's like, you know, thick. Congee. Is that why congee is called congee? Because it congeals? It's congealed starch things. Congealed. Congee. Cook the congee until congee, then you have congee.
I think it's better if I hold it like this because it will be. You're
It's
pushing it
fine.
front, forward, and backwards. So like.
I think it's about that. It looks like thickish. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, the camera.
Yeah. Text to speech reader is seeing. Okay, so
You can always tilt it a bit.
yeah, but we're cooking it. If we tilt it, it's going to get off from the induction cooker, then it's going to screech. Experiment. No, exhibit.
Example.
See
There
that?
you go.
Okay, I think it's done. It looks like congealed. Now, can you stir it more?
What?
Stir it a bit more.
Oh.
Okay. Now, what you do next is you get a bowl. I didn't expect that to take that long, to be honest. Get a bowl. Is this big enough? No, we'll take the rectangle one. Yeah. This one or that one? This one. Hi. Okay. I've seen some people cook it because like they add so much ghee. We didn't add as much ghee as other people add. I think it may be wrong. We should have maybe added like as much ghee as we were told to. But then I was just afraid because I don't know, like, you know, like best. Yeah, but you know, once you get set aside and so on. But anyway, some people, it's like so oily because of the ghee that they can just like flip it. And it's, okay, here we go.
What?
Okay, I put it this way. No, it's okay. Oh, we want to show
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did it. So that, you see that? Whoa. Okay, now you have to just turn it this way. I can't see.
Hold on, I'm using.
Okay, put it back down. Put it back down. We'll do it this way. Okay. So now this, you would want to let it set and sit. It will thicken on its own, and then it'll become like it'll not harden, but it'll like settle and become this like cake thing. It'll become one. I don't know how to phrase it, but you know, it'll become like a cake. It will become like a cake. Like when it's hot and like just cooked, it'll still be like kind of soft, kind of like, you know, kind
Fluidy
of,
still.
yeah. So once it sets, it's going to be like this, and
Like
then you
jelly.
cut it like pudding.
Yeah, like making pudding. So
Yeah.
when it's still.
It's not like the same principle.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
gelatin or whatever, you know. But then, like, because like the oat would settle down and like absorb all this moisture, then they would bind together. Then they would form this like cake thing. That's more. We'll just We'll just put this aside. We'll eat it later, like that. Put it aside.
There's some comments from Folding Banana. I see. Interesting. I might make harissa one day now.
You should.
Cheer on for the chicken to boil. Thank you.
The chicken will take a long time to boil.
They also say we definitely appreciate Aeshah and Ahmad's content.
Aww.
Hard work and views for the world. You are changing the world bit by bit, step by step, age by age, and we are proud to have educated youth. Like you guys opening the eyes of others for a better future. Amin.
And
Me.
you guys too. You
Yes.
guys, like we are all a part of something big, you know? Like we together collectively would together make a difference, you know? And that's like the way to go.
We're supposed to like put a layer,
Coaster.
yeah, coaster.
Okay, so this would sit and set. That's the word set. It will set.
I think it is, is it?
I did? Okay, then it will set and it will become this cake thing. Now let's move everything aside. Sink. Not sink. That's sink. This one I'll keep it here. Those go in the sink. This one goes in the sink. This one goes in the sink. Careful with the thingy. This one put aside. This one put this in the spice thing. Wait a second. Ooh, it didn't spill or break. Thankfully. Hold a second. Close it.
Coriander.
No, this is cumin.
Coriander.
Oh, that one's coriander. I thought this was coriander. I was like, no.
I like throwing coriander.
Okay, here. Okay. Okay, put this in there alongside those stuff. Put the ghee beside here. Okay, now there is this topping thing that people usually add into this thing. Do we have time for that? We can just do a bit.
What time is it?
It's 6.
Huh.
You can't look at Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got confused with the.
But otherwise, do we have time for that? Like, okay, here, we'll just do that bit, okay? So what this is, we have like, we slice some garlic and then we fry it in ghee. We didn't slice garlic early on.
Yeah.
Hold a second, you wait here. I'll go and get something.
That is personally my favorite. No, the thing is that it's hard to compare with the other one, which is like lime and I think no. The best is when you mix them both. Yes. So this one is like garlic and ghee. You will slice it into thin slices and then briefly fry it with the ghee. And lightly fry it, yeah. And
Find it.
usually after that I will also eat it with sliced chili and then also add lime on it, which makes it gives it a nice strong not strong but like that's that sort of how lime tastes, you know. So add that sharp lime taste alongside the spiciness and then the very meaty taste of the ghee and with the fragrance of the garlic.
So the harissa, just a side note, you like, I think if I'm not mistaken, it is like traditionally you set it in a rectangular thing.
Box container.
Yeah, instead of like circle. We've seen people doing circle ones, but then from what we know, at least, you know, you set it in a rectangular thing. This is a pre-fried garlic and ghee. So we're going to reheat this. You're supposed to do it from scratch. So what you do is you slice garlic into very, very thin slivers. Then you fry it in ghee lightly. So we didn't fry the garlic beforehand. So now we're just going to reheat this to be faster. Do we use a skillet? Can we use the skillet? Is it possible? Or was it this thing? Do we use this thing? Can we use the
I think we could use the
this
oh,
one?
no,
Can we
no,
use
need this
Oh,
one.
okay, then we'll just take that one. We're choosing pots. It's a gigantic pot, I know, but then not all of the pots can be used to fry
on an induction
on the
cooker.
induction cooker. They need certain what do you call it?
Properties.
Material.
Materials. Spatula?
Yeah, the black one. Do we melt the ghee in first?
I think you can like sort of like push it out, cut it and push it out.
I think you want like a little bit of a preheated ghee though, you know? Like I
Inside
think
there.
yeah.
Right.
I think like just or maybe you just scoop up the ghee part of it.
Ah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could scoop that from here.
So this is like pre-fried yesterday. It's recommended to do it fresh, you know, but we forgot to cut the garlic because that's going to take some time. So you want to cut it thinly, like the thinnest of the thinnest slivers.
You guys need to brought in some garlic.
It's okay. I think we need a bit more. You want to very lightly fry it. You don't want to fry it to like, you know. Oh, get down! The smell is so good.
Yes. I'm just dying at the smell of the ghee.
Okay, so now you have melted your ghee. You know, like that should be self-explanatory. Melt your ghee, then you add in the. We need a second camera to like, you know, kind of like just above here. Then you add in the garlic, which is supposed to be like freshly cut thin slivers, but we forgot to cut it beforehand. So this is a pre-fried one. They were fried like a few days ago. Yesterday, something like that. I can't remember. Well, technically, theoretically, no, not theoretically. Technically, yesterday can be any day. That's not today. In the past, you know. You're in deep concentration. Are you like very much into the smell of the?
What? No, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know this one.
I have been talking. Distracted by the garlic and the ghee. Okay, so lightly fry it. We'll cut some fresh ones later on because this is not enough.
Just example for the.
This is just an example. Smell it. Okay. Oh, wait, hold a second. Okay, this might be a bit loud from the induction cooker, but then, like, cooking... Yeah, goes like that. These days, cooking shows. Sizzle, 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 sizzle.
Should have enhanced the microphone volume.
Alright, this is about it. You don't want it to char. You want it to just be kind of like brown. 1 second, like that. Oh wait, switch off the induction cooker. So like that, lightly brown. Do not let it char. Take it out. Do you put it on top of that, or do you put it in separate? Okay. Oh, okay.
You put it
Like
separately.
if you want to have like, you know, a nice presentation, yes, you put it on top of the harissa, but we are not going to do that. We just put it.
Because different people like to eat it differently, so.
Or like with like different amounts.
Yeah.
Of it,
So if you just put it right there.
then I think preferably you go lighter. Like this, a little already onto the dark side. You want it to be a little bit less brown.
I think it's also because of how we reheated it
Yeah,
from
yeah.
already being fried.
But yeah. His stomach is grumbling. Just remember. Not the harissa, the garlic. Oh man. Okay, here we go. This is our cooking. I can't believe it. We cooked the whole harissa by ourselves.
You're gonna need to wash that wire.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think we're even using this tool, so I'm gonna put it.
I think it's already cool enough to sit here. So yeah, here we go. This is the harissa. And this is the fried garlic. There's a close up. What's the microphone?
In case you're going to talk.
Oh no. I thought you were going to like have like, okay,
Oh, no.
garlic, how do you feel about yourself? Okay, so it says here that sometimes you also cut what do you call it? Chili padi, like those tiny chilies.
But actually,
Bird's eye chili is one type of chili padi. Yeah. I think
generally
it is.
people call it like that. So.
Well, those people do not know a lot of chili padis, then. But anyway, so you also like slice in chilies very thinly. Then you just like like have like the garlic and then you have the chili. Also honey. Some people have it with some sprinkling of honey. I love that one.
I do not exactly enjoy that one. And
It's so good.
It mixes the savory taste and the sweet taste, which doesn't blend in well for me. So,
Some people also have it with chili sauce.
which is why I like it so much with the garlic, because garlic and savory is like
Some people also have it with chili
oinky.
sauce. I want to take a little bit, but then it's like it's not set yet. But I want to eat it. Let's steal a little bit. This is your spoon. This is my spoon. And then this is the garlic spoon. Oops, that's not the garlic. Never mind. A little bigger spoon. Let's
We're out of
spoons.
spoons.
I'll take a flip. Okay, here we go. Just take a bit. You're not supposed to scoop it like this. You're supposed to like let
Cut
it
it.
set.
Yeah.
Then it will be cuttable. Maybe we'll post a picture,
Picture of it,
once
yeah.
this thing sets. Then we'll like put it down onto a plate. Then we'll cut it. Then we'll post a picture on our Instagram. You can
So
find the
be
link.
sure to follow it.
The link is like in the description box. Otherwise, it's like Instagram.com/Oskida_IG. Now, taste time. By the way, you can hear how crispy it is. Oh, sorry. Crispy.
Honestly, I'm not sure if they could hear it or not. Hopefully they
Okay.
could.
Good? I'm so happy. You can imagine how happy I am. This is like a proof of my cooking accomplishments. I cooked harissa. I am so happy. I still believe our mother's harissa. There's something about the spice that hers is better. I'm not sure if it's spice or like the salt, But this is good. This is good. I am so happy. This is good. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in our live stream.
And thank you very much as well to Siswa Johor for collaborating with us this time.
Yep.
It was a really cool live stream, especially talking about Johor, which is our origin state of origin.
Our family
yeah.
was from Johor.
Yeah.
Like, our family is from Terengganu, but was from Johor. Is there something? No.
Yeah, we should look at comments.
Okay,
please.
okay.
Oh, there's
No,
not.
no,
Okay, cool.
it's okay. Text to speech looked like she had something to say. So, yeah. So, thank you guys so much for joining in. And thank you to Siswa Johor for collaborating with us, partnering with us. And the we hope that you enjoy it and that you like took a word or two, what do you call it? Like, you know, like found the oh, okay, it's okay. He wants to take another sneeze break. We hope that the, you know, like the things that we said, like, kind of like, you know, inspired you guys to take an action, you know, like to do something, to play a part, to play a role, to, you know, just try to make a change. The little bit of that, you know, you can, like, it's okay. Sometimes it may be a bit hard, maybe a bit, you know, impossible. It may seem like the world's just so bleak, the future is just so bleak, and, you know, there's nothing for you to do. But there's always something that you can do, even though it's a little bit. So, and most importantly, if you're from Johor, please go out and vote.
On 12th of March, Saturday, less than 2 weeks left before
Yep.
voting day
Yep.
comes around.
Yep. And while you vote, jaga SOP, because you do
Comply
not
to the SOP.
you do not want to be infected by COVID,
Or to cause
a COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
So be wary of that, but do vote. You know, do vote. So yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much. We wish that we can give you a taste of the harissa because it's so good, but alas we
And
can't. So
we
all that we
couldn't
can do.
even show you how it looks like when it's cut on the stream.
Yeah. So we'll show
So-
that on the
And
Instagram.
after we already publish it, we should post it. Put the link to the picture in the description as well.
Yeah. After we've
And,
published
yeah.
the picture of the harissa. So yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And we hope that you guys enjoyed our almost at podcast. This is a stream. You know, and had a great time, a great evening, and we, you know, hope to hear from you guys too. We want to, you know, like, again, like,
Be
yeah.
sure to follow us,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
us on
Yeah.
places.
Yeah. So anyway, bye. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
You want to have a
Oh.
close up like last time?
Yeah, we could.
Hold a second. Let's do a more organized close up. Last time was so chaotic. Okay, here we go. Can you see? Is it visible? Do we need to adjust the light? Like that?
Hold on. I think it's
Turn-
better if we
turn the laptop
the
around.
laptop
Hold a second.
Oh no, now they know that we're using the laptop to stream.
Okay. Okay, let me adjust the hold a second. Let me adjust the light. Can you hold this? Hold it here. You know, that might. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me adjust the light. Alright. That's it. Yeah. I'm sorry if you can hear that car horn. Some car alarm is going off. But yeah. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining in our live stream. Can you see? Can you see us? We've got Johor flags.
Oh yes.
And
Hold
thank
on.
you guys so
I'm
much
trying
for
to
joining
coordinate that.
our live stream and
blocking your
our
face.
stream, and we hope that you guys had a great time. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we'd love to see you guys again. And bye.
Bye.
I feel like we take 10 hours just to end the stream.
Never. Oh, it's not done yet.
Is it okay? Okay.